Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. My name is Bob Lennon, President of ThermalWood Canada and host for the show. And today our special guest is Donald Aubé.
Hi, how are you?
Not bad, Donald. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why we're here today, because there's a little bit of a connection and to things that you do for the community and for the community college. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Beresford. I've lived out of town for about 10 years in Moncton, and I came back in the area because home is home. I gotta love the area. I missed it. And I came back here and eventually ended up being a teacher at the community college. And I've been there for about 24, 25 years now. But today we're here to talk about the Alumni Association.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the Alumni, because I'm sure a lot of people in the area don't know that the college has an alumni.
That's quite possible. And they probably don't even know that they are members as well, because the membership is free and you don't necessarily have to be a graduate of the CCNB to be part of the alumni. I'm part of it. I'm a former student of the CCNB. I studied here as well as the university. But you're a UNB alumni, and yet you're a member of the AAACCNB.
Yeah.
It's a long word.
Fits on a business card.
Yes, it does. But we have Association des Anciens et Amis, so friends, which means anyone who volunteers or gets involved in any type of event or activity becomes a member, and it's free of charge. And that's basically your typical-ish alumni association, as in you try to offer services to your members. And you also, of course, have the scholarships and stuff like that. But the one area where we are a bit different is that our membership is not limited to just the graduates.
Okay.
So we're open to the public. Also, it includes employees and former employees. And in Bathurst, as many people know, that beautiful building's been there for over 100 years now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history, and it includes different types of post-secondary education institutions. You have the Université Sacré-Cœur, Sacred Heart University, and the Collège Sacré-Cœur, so the Sacred Heart College. They were predecessors to the CCNB, which really took place in the mid-70s. So we're about to celebrate our 50th anniversary at the college. And the Alumni Association had two different groups for a while. One represented the CCNB, and the other represented the other institutions, so the college and the university. But now we've brought them together as one. So we have one board that directs both the foundation of the college and the Alumni Association.
So bringing them both together means that, you know, the mandate from the alumni also includes the preservation of history.
Absolutely. And we do have quite a bit of a collection on campus of different artifacts that are quite interesting. And we have a subcommittee that actually takes care of that, to preserve history and to also eventually promote. We've had a strategic planning session in early 23, and that's one of the issues that came out, is that how do we go about to promote the history in this area? And I mean, the Alumni Association has been involved in many projects that people might not know about. For example, the beautiful lighting system that you see in front of that majestic building. Yeah. Well, that's an alumni project. So that came about from the foundation and the alumni. And also extreme races, we were involved in that.
Exactly.
Operation Red Nose has been back in the area since 2014. That's an alumni project as well.
So, you know, it's if people think about this as being, well, it's the Collège Communautaire, like it's only the French group that are there, but this is just as much part of the English culture as the French culture, because that building sits, you know, smack down in downtown Bathurst, you know, and you see it wherever you go.
Absolutely. And
now that you have, as you mentioned, I'm glad you brought up the fact about the lights, is that it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you see it from anywhere.
It's basically a heritage building now.
Yeah.
It's not been qualified as such, but when you look at it, I mean, it's like I said, it's almost majestic with the lights. And when you do drive downtown Bathurst and you take on the bridge at night and you see that building, I mean, it's a beautiful sight, to be honest.
And the other part about it too is that, we had Pierre Zundel in here probably a month or so ago, and we were talking about the $150 million expansion project of building a new campus. The new campus is going on top of the hill, but the building is still going to stay there.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be revamping the inside because it is history. You can't get rid of our history like that, and so that's good. But part of that too, and then the other main reason why we're here today to talk about is that there's a gallery inside at the college, and talk to us a little bit about what's at the gallery and what's going on now, and how you're raising money for it.
Well, it's a mini art gallery, and it's in honor of Father Maurice Leblanc. He used to be a teacher at the aforementioned university and college, and he was a huge part for whoever studied there. I mean, whenever you speak with anyone who was a student, they just keep bringing up his name. He was involved, I think, in art history teaching. He was a pianist. He was a painter. He was a choir leader. So he was so involved that eventually they recognized his contribution by naming an art gallery after his name. And in his honor. And it's fitting because he was quite the artist, and he bring an enormous amount of culturally diversified events at the college, at the university, way back when. Like, you'd get like artists from all over the place. So now we have this space at the college, and with the pandemic that we went through, it closed down for a while, and now we've reopened it. It's now under the alumni's wings. It didn't used to be, so that's one of the things that we went, well, it's nice to have this place, but since he's such a huge part of our history, like we were saying, we were trying to preserve history, we should get involved. So now we're running the place, I guess you could say, managing the place, and that's what we started back in November. We've reopened the gallery in November. And we have the local artists that we want to put forward. Really, we want to offer a venue to the different local artists, visual arts, because I don't think there are that many spots in the area right now, and it's something that needs to be addressed. And like you were saying, we aim to please not only the French community. Yes, we have French courses there, but we are involved in the community, and we want the English community to also come into our doors and have a look. So that's one of the areas where we can probably build a partnership.
Where exactly is the gallery located?
In the main building, right at the main entrance. You just walk in and you look left and you'll see it. It's that simple. So that big, beautiful building that we were talking about, you just hit the main doors, walk in the reception area right on your left. The gallery is right there. So it's really easy to find. And
Hours,
Mondays to Fridays from 9 till 5, and Saturdays and Sundays, noon till 4.
Okay.
And we have an exhibit right there right now, actually. Mélanie Doucette is an artist right now. She's been, we've opened on February 17th, and she'll be there until March 23rd.
Okay. So it's open to that. And you were talking before we had this interview that you've got a number of local artists that are booked over the next little while to showcase their talent and what they have to show.
Yes. Calendar year 2024 is booked.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. And we've just started. We put together a committee, I'd say back in May 23rd, 2023. And we started with the first exhibit in November. And now we've booked 2024 throughout the year. We have 5 exhibits lined up. And we have some real interest from the artistic community. And that's really encouraging. And now all we have to do is, thanks to programs such as yours, what we're doing today here is to get the word out so that people can come in and can enjoy, because we do have some great artists in the area. We need to promote them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of great artists, one of the things that you're also doing right now and is you've got a lottery that's going on and talking about some artists. So we've got some paintings here of some of the local artists, and maybe we can just show those as you're going through. So
well, the lottery that we have going on is a fundraising for the gallery, but it's mostly also to give some visibility, I guess, to the notion that we have now a new venue or a reopening venue in the area, so that people talk about art. And this is to support the local artists. Like this one is from Guylaine Leclerc. She resides in Petit Rocher. And I have another one here as well from Marcel Boudreau, originally from Petit Rocher. He now lives in the Fredericton area, but he comes back in the area from time to time. And also one more here from Carole Doucette, very well known in the area. She's basically a professional artist. Yeah. And
I love the fish.
Yeah.
Like, they look like they just swam in for this interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these artworks, you have some as well. These are all up for a lottery that is called $20 for a touch of art. So basically what it is people get tickets for $20 a piece. And as you can tell, these artworks are worth at least $250 a piece. So you could win something that's worth around $300 for $20 expenditure. So, and what it does, it promotes art. It supports the artists. What we've done is we've purchased these artworks from the artists so that we support their livelihood.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, usually people, what they do is they ask artists for a donation, and you go, well, maybe you should support them and buy the artwork and then do something with it. Yeah. So that's what we did. And so the lottery is basically to support the art gallery so that we can keep going on with different exhibits and assume basic costs. We are not going to be making millions with this, and that's not the intention at all. What we want to do is try to break even and offer the service and the venue to the population. And there's also one more here.
Yes, here, I'll hold this one up. Yeah. Maybe you can explain who you didn't say.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Graziella Matteau.
You wouldn't want her to know that you didn't talk about it.
Yes. And Graziella is actually a former student at the college as well. Okay. So she's part of our alumni. So, and Guylaine is a former employee, so she's also part of our alumni. So these folks are just local people who have extreme great talent, I believe.
Yeah. And this also is local artist?
Yeah, well, actually, John Fury, he resides in Péteroche, but he's originally from Newfoundland. Ah. Yes, but he's been in the area for quite a while now, and he has his own mini art gallery workshop, if you want, and people can drop by anytime. He's in Petit Rocher, and it's really lifelike. And that's actually the next artwork up for grabs at the lottery. First one was held on February 14th, Valentine's Day. That was Andrea Watling's that was up for grabs. And next week, on the 28th, we'll be doing a draw for John Fury's. And tickets are available right up on through, because we have draws every other week. So tickets are available right on through the last draw, which will be on May 22nd.
So where do you get tickets?
Either at Four Rivers or Café Inn, or at the college, or you can send us an email and we can fix it up for you. Email is really, really, really simple. It's AAACCNB.CCNB.ca.
Okay. And we'll put that
CCNB.ca. I'm sorry.
We'll put it down anyways on the list so people know.
It's AAACCNB@CCNB.ca.
Okay. So it's interesting how you've been able to incorporate everything from preserving history to bringing in new artists to supporting the new artists at the same time and getting the place known by both cultures that reside here. Absolutely. And so it's interesting touch on how you pulled everything together. But the other thing too that I think is deserving to mention in here is that a lot of the marketing, the posters, the stuff that you put together, you've involved some of your students
Yeah.
in this whole thing too.
Yeah, we do. For example, right now we have a project, an ongoing project on campus where the students are working on rebuilding our list of graduates so that we can upkeep our list and everything. So we get the students involved in different types of projects in that regards with the Alumni Association, either for a gallery or, for example, Operation Red Nose. That's the direct result of a student project.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. That was in project management quite a few years ago, and back in 2012, I think it was, where the students were given a mandate to try to figure out if we could bring back Operation Red Nose in the area. And they did. They established it back in 2014. So these types of projects are ongoing, and it's really interesting to see the students learn from it. And also it helps them network a bit, and it gets them involved in the community. So like you were saying, it doesn't really matter if you're French or English when you go out on one night and call Operation Red Nose.
Yeah.
So you can get involved as a volunteer as well. You can get involved with the Alumni Association. I mean, like I was saying, the extreme race, we were involved in that, and that was a huge community.
Oh,
event.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So it was the CCNB that was, leading that adventure, but the Alumni Association was a key player in there as well. So.
Yeah. And, you talk about the students and involving them, you don't just involve in stuff that's tied to you. You've actually had your students involved with us too here at ThermalWood Canada, because back, like everything is pre-COVID and post-COVID now. Yeah. So it's the only dateline. I don't understand why. The only dateline we remember. But, and I can't remember, it was 2018 or 2019 when we had your class involved in helping us look at how we could promote our Obsidian product.
Yes.
And, they got quite involved in your class, and they did videos for us and did a bunch of things. And it took a number of years, but, we've been hard at work using that, and it was a kickoff and getting it out there and stuff. So thank you again for getting your students involved, because it's a great thing.
The thing is, we have to thank you, because it gives them an unreal experience. It's a hands-on type of experience, and that's something that we try to include in the training at the community college, regardless of the programs. Some are more practical than others, but every program at the college, we do have that notion that we have to get the students some practical experience.
Yeah. And
I mean, you brought a great experience out of that. And to be honest with you, I'd really like those students to get to see the guitar that you got as a final product. And
well, you have the list of them all, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's work together after this interview and figure out how do we get a hold of them and send them some pictures and stuff and show them where it's gone. Yeah. Because, they were an integral part of us working our way through that and stuff.
I'm sure they'd be glad to hear that.
Well, listen, thank you very much for involving your students. Thank you very much for the work that you're doing for the community, the work that you're doing to preserve history. When I was younger, I really didn't care about history. It wasn't important. But as I get older and start thinking about it, it's important for us to remember that and to tie in and to link and say, how do we end up to where we are today? Yeah. And it's all got to do with history, right?
Yeah, but you know what? It's when you get older, you go, I remember when.
A little bit of that going on too. Yes. So again, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. And good luck with the lottery. And hopefully you get a lot more people showing up at the gallery.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the hours. People do come in, just walk in. I mean, there's no admission fee. It's free. And it's great art right now. What we have with Melanie Doucette is really, really great. So please do come in.
Drive up the hill, walk in the front door, and go to your left. Can't be any simpler than that.
Exactly. Thank you.
And there we have it. Another edition of Northern Heat for this week, the place you come to listen to the stories that haven't been discovered yet.